Alrighty, I think I'm ready. Let's do this. Hello everybody. I hope you're ready to sketch today. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Also, sorry if my mic is really quiet. My actual mic is broken, so I'm having to use my webcam mic, and I tend to be a mumbler, so apologies in advance. But today we are doing some sketching. We're going to be doing birds of prey, and I have a picture that I put in my Discord that you're welcome to grab if you'd like. I'm going to be using this one just to start with to work from, but you certainly don't have to. You're welcome to use whatever you'd like. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, here we go. So here is our bird. I've got a few others. I spent so much time this morning just hunting for birds of prey reference pictures. Oh, I knew I forgot to post somewhere. Hold on. Just realized I forgot to post my photo. Yeah, so we're going to start with just the basic eagle. Pretty simple pose, hopefully. I know birds can be kind of intimidating because there's a lot of shapes going on, especially in the feathers. So I'll kind of talk about how I break that down, and then hopefully get better at it, because honestly I feel like wings are so complex, and like the way that feathers sort of layer, even depending on species, is so different. You really can't practice, I feel. I don't think you can practice wings enough. So we're going to, I'm actually going to tone the paper this time because it was kind of hurting my eyes yesterday. So we're going to do, let's do like more of a grayed out. Yeah, so just hopefully that's slightly less eye glaring for me. You don't have to do that if you're working digitally or whatever, do whatever you want. This is just for me. Let's see. Hopefully I am doing this correctly. Yeah, swings are hard for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I typically work with gray pages as well. I don't know why I decided to draw. I don't know why I decided to draw on white paper yesterday, so I think I was just nervous. Alright, let me make one more little announcement. So I'm trying to be better about social media, you guys, and I'm really bad at it. I've been working on this since 8:30, but I got so sucked into looking for reference pictures. I spent like an hour probably, well, 40 minutes looking at pictures of birds. So it was very fun, but probably not what I needed to be doing necessarily. Alright, got that one posted. I have to do this on Instagram. Instagram's always difficult. Alrighty. So I didn't go with any portraits of birds. Well, I guess we could. I pulled up a few that we could do. We'll see how much time we have. I'm not starting my timer yet, but if anybody has already started, by all means, feel free to start your 30-minute timer. That is the challenge, by the way, is just sketch for 30 minutes and see what you can come up with. Let me find my bird picture on my phone really quick. This is so difficult. One of these days I will be prepared when stream starts, I promise. As much as I know you guys like watching me stare at my phone. How do you guys handle social media? It's too hard. I'm just gonna download this bird picture and post that in my story, and that's gonna count. That's what we're doing today for Instagram, guys. Okay, so when you're looking at drawing a bird, right? I wanted to find a skeleton to do today, and we might do like a quick look at one actually. That's something I meant to pull up too. kind of an eagle, so we'll just do an eagle skeleton. I want to point out some things about their anatomy first. I'll try to find one that's similar to this pose. I can't make any promises. Okay, this will have to do. This is close enough. Although it's a bald eagle. That's okay. We'll just go with it. Copy. Image. I wish there was like a better... Finding a lot of drawings. I really wanted an actual skeleton though. This one's a little better. Okay, let's do this one. Copy, image, and paste. Oh, alright, apparently can't do that. Copy. Okay, here we are. Nope, apparently it's just not gonna let me do that. Why is it doing this to me? I just want to learn anatomy. Come on now, we're gonna screenshot. You can't evade my screenshot. Ah. Okay, so let's just talk about what's going on. Sometimes I feel like having an idea of what's going on under the feathers can be helpful. I'm not exactly sure what bird this is. It looks like it might be an eagle. But I want to point out something that I think is really fun about bird anatomy. So a lot of birds, I don't think all of them do, but they still have like this little claw. It's called a wing spur. That's underneath their feathers. And in some species you actually see it poking out. Like there's a few water birds that have it visible. And I think it just depends on the bird. Sometimes you can see the bird, but they sometimes can use this to like hang on to trees even still. Or I guess maybe injure each other, but it's probably mostly for grabbing. But like this is their arm, right? So this is the finger, the hand, got this like backwards elbow basically, and then, oh excuse me, I did that wrong. Here's the shoulder, right here. Here's the actual shoulder blade. And then here's the arm bone here, you got your elbow, forearm, and finger. Well, I guess I did it right. Anyway, so this bird has its wings like this right now. So it's got a wing extended, there's muscles, kind of like think about your chicken wings, like when you eat, those of you who are meat eaters. This is where the wings are going to attach. So if you think about that as you draw things, that's probably the part that gets a lot of people. A lot of times when I see people draw wings, there's like no thought to anatomy, right? It's just like, you know, just like feathers coming out of everything, and that's probably even too, just like layers and layers and layers of feathers, right? You see this a lot in anime especially, and it's kind of distracting to me. Like it just looks like an explosion of feathers coming out of the shoulder blades of things. And then they bend in weird places. So if you think of it like an arm, right? Like we have our human arm. Here's our little hand with fingers. Just pretend we had a chicken wing, right? It's the exact same. It's that. And so when they're folding up their wings, what they're doing is they have their shoulder here, and they're tucking everything like that. So you can see that's what this guy's doing right here. We're going to draw that today. And another thing to point out is even though the legs look straight here, if you could draw underneath this guy, it would be the same anatomy you're seeing here, right? So here's that ankle bone, got that knee, and then there's that big old drumstick, right? So there's our bird. You can see the hips. So you can almost like draw this animal. You could like draw the skeleton over the bird. So just kind of keep that stuff in mind. I'm going to leave this skeleton up here in case it's helpful to anybody. I think wing spurs are cool. It probably doesn't matter to most people. But anyway. Yeah, keep that stuff in mind. So as you go, that will help you figure out if you have trouble with birds. That's probably going to be helpful to figuring out how to make things like lay correctly, I think. I'm gonna close this and get back to I don't even have my chat open. Sorry guys, if anyone's asking me something. Cool, okay. Check you've been using perfect. That's exactly what you should be doing. Hopefully everything stays working today. I've got a few alternative streams going in the background, so if there's any lag or something, just let me know and I'll have to stop screen sharing elsewhere. I've never tried to screen share this many at once, so we'll see how it goes. But so far so good, I think. Yeah. Okay. On this eagle in about 5 seconds, guys. Just announcing my warm-up stream. No, I thought I was so prepared this time. So proud of myself. Shall we? Verb time. We'll merge these layers because I am notorious about drawing a wrong layer. There we go. Alright, here's our reference. Like I said before, if you don't want to work from my reference picture, you absolutely don't have to. This is just the one I'm using today. I tried to pick one that would be pretty simple for anybody who did want to draw along. But yeah, let's do it. Remember to find the shapes. That's kind of the whole practice here. And think about what you're drawing. Like, what part of the animal is it? Where did it go on the skeleton? It's going to help quite a bit. And I may start looking up skeleton pictures ahead of time too and just adding that, because I really think understanding anatomy is pretty important for actually drawing these animals correctly. So, and I don't know. I wish I could figure out how to apply that to machines. I think it would help me understand how to draw them a little better. I'll think about that more another day. Feel free to draw or ignore his little stray feather there. That's called artistic license. If you don't want to draw it, don't feel like you have to. So I'm going to leave the wings till last. I'm honestly not always the best at drawing wings accurately, so this will be a challenge for me too. Like I said, I don't practice enough. I'm trying to make sure I get my angles right. I struggled with that last time a little bit. The worst thing you can do is practice bad habits, I think, when you're drawing from reference. So you don't want to reinforce a bad habit of like drawing what you think you see. One of the things I would always tell my students whenever I was teaching, or really just anybody trying to sketch, is try to challenge yourself to look at the picture that you're drawing from, or the life, like whatever you're drawing from, more than your paper. So the more you're actually looking at what you're actually seeing, it's going to train your eye to really pay attention to shape and value and color and just like the little details that are easy to miss. And you'll start more naturally just like finding shapes quickly and yeah, noticing certain details faster, basically. But it's really important to get that structure down first, so don't worry if it looks messy. That's going to help you later. You can always erase. What you don't want to do is spend time working on something that's not actually accurate, because then you'll have to erase a lot more and be more sad. Not that I've ever done that before. That was sarcasm, by the way. I do that all the time. I'm really bad at it. I've also tried breaking simplifying letters. Shapes. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna move my chat over again. I forgot I did that yesterday. Ah, dang it. Why does this happen every time I move my chat? Alright. Everything goes away. I don't get it. I didn't even touch anything with my chat box. Goodness gracious. Okay. Now I can see if my stream dies. I can see if my camera dies. Just need to see. There we go. Okay. See all the things. Wonderful. Okay. You went out of your way to draw the stray feather. Excellent. I'm so proud. I'm just now realizing I did not give myself enough space here. So let's move that. Oh shoot, I forgot to start my timer. We'll just say I started at 10:20. A little bit earlier than yesterday, so there's that. So I always like to remember when I'm drawing wings especially, that for the most part, we'll see this in another photo that we'll use later, but wings tend to layer in threes. Like the feathering is kind of grouped into 3 bunches of feathers. So, yeah, let me just kind of sketch it out first and then I'll explain. But you basically have like your, like your chicken wing layer. And I forget that there's like primaries and secondaries. So then you have your secondary feathers that come out from that, and then you have your primary feathers, which are your really big, flight feathers. And there's gonna be they're gonna layer differently depending on what side of the wing you're looking at. So right now we are looking at the dorsal side, which is the top. So this is the dorsal view of the wing, and then the underside or the ventral, depending on I guess what terminology you want to use, is gonna layer differently, and we'll look at that. I have a reference. I think I found a decent one that shows pretty good layering underneath. The hard part, and it varies from bird to bird sometimes a little, but the hard part to me about feathering is like remembering which feathers rest on top or bottom of each other on which parts of the wing, right? That's the tricky bit. So I'm not going to go too crazy with these. So you can see I've got my 1, 2, and then 3. These are the big primaries down here. And for the most part on the dorsal side, the ones closest to the back are going to sit on top. So one way you can think of wings when you're drawing them, gosh, these little fake wings I'm making are terrible. Just think of the feathers as coming out this way. So like, you can kind of see it on top right over here, but they're sort of resting on top. Like the ones on top are there, and then it's almost like scales. And I learned recently, actually, that feathers are just like highly modified scales, which is why they kind of layer similarly. So if you look closely at reptile scales, they're going to basically do the same thing. And then you just kind of follow your lines of your bunches, right? So here's that first bunch, that second feather bunch, and then the third. And so when I draw them from the top, sometimes it's, it's fast to go this way, right? And just kind of go out and make it kind of have the appearance of layering the right way. And then that would be the top. And I guess it makes sense. I always try to remember it, but I always forget. But like if the wind is pushing up, you would want your bottom, your inmost feather to be underneath the feather behind it, so it can like help keep it down and support it, right? I just always forget which way that works. Because if it was the other way, then you would basically just have like, the one on the end would just be like, they would all just kind of not hold air. But if they have the other on top to hold it down, it pushes against the air current. Which is some really cool, just like design, basically really nice engineering of the wing here. Yeah, anyway, so there's our dorsal. I'll just do this quick cheat sheet so I don't forget, because I know I will always do every time. And so then ventral is going to be the opposite, right? It's going to be outermost is first. So your underside, your lines are going to go lines are drawn kind of swooping like the letter C. Drawn this way, it's like the end parentheses, I guess is one way to think of it. So ventral or under. This will be my cheat sheet too. I always when I draw wings, it's like been too long since I've drawn them, and so then I always have to go back and look at a bird and find a picture and make sure that I'm doing it right. Yeah. And there's also just like some looser feathers down here, I feel like. Thunderbird, like a lot of these feathers are pretty small, and we'll see that. There's like some really tiny ones. We'll see that on some of the other photos that I picked. Yeah. Anyway, just something to note. And it kind of depends on the bird, like how, like some birds have really, really short, I forget what this section is called, but sometimes it's tiny and sometimes it's really long. And then sometimes there's like extra feathers. So it just depends on the species. Always double check your references if you're trying to draw a particular bird. But anyway, okay. Now that we've talked about that. I should have paused my, I'm gonna give myself like 5 minutes back from that. I wasn't really drawing, I was just explaining. I need to actually make sure I'm meeting my own challenge and sketching for 30 minutes. This is the goal. They look so angry. I love how angry birds look. Honestly, they're so grouchy. They do. They always look so angry. Really, I feel like every bird of prey looks angry just because the way their skulls are shaped. It's like hard to find one, except for like some owls. Some owls don't look mad. But yeah, they just have these really deep, really great. It's totally that face. It is. It's absolutely that face. Reese, we knew all along. Showing his bird nature there. I might just do a few of these from upstreams just for like practice on parts of things too. Like I might just do one that's just wings sometime. Like just different types of, like, I feel like some of my favorite wings to draw are like water bird wings. So like swans and herons, like gannets, cormorants. Cormorants especially have really cool, it's really easy to see. Like if you want to study feathers on a bird, cormorants, man. Cormorants are the way to go. Okay, I'm just gonna loosely kind of sketch these in, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little more detail than I want to get into. I want to get through a few more reference pictures. And sorry if somebody was trying to draw the end of that picture and couldn't see it. You can always click the link to Discord to go grab the image. I think Amaze posted it at the top of the chat for anyone who is here. It's gonna switch to oil for some reason. Yeah, and you can also use your own picture. If you found a picture you like better, absolutely 100% go for it. These are not assigned pictures or anything. Just the ones I found. Since you drew the fluffy feather, I will draw the fluffy feather. I don't know, I don't like it actually. It looks so weird. in the, like, it looks fine in nature, but in my stiff ink drawing, it's sort of, I don't know, less than ideal maybe. Oh, yeah, owls are usually kind of cockeyed. They look terrified, I think. And I found out recently owls are actually kind of stupid, which is really funny to me, because, you know, historically they've been associated as like symbols of wisdom. But apparently they're not very bright, just like by and large, kind of dumb animals. I don't know why this feather is messing with me. I think there's another one hidden back there, but we'll move on to the next screen, and then we're almost done here. I'm gonna move on to another one. Unfortunately, this picture, it's not quite clear what's happening on the other side. I think what I'm seeing is part of this tail kind of overlapping, because there's like one feather coming down like this, which is kind of weird. So I wonder if that's part of the tail feather, or maybe it's the other wing. Maybe this part's the tail. Hard to say. I'm gonna go with this as the tail maybe. I like to know what I'm drawing so I can kind of adjust. But in this situation, I'm not entirely sure, so we're just gonna run with that. We're gonna call that whatever that is what it is. Draw the eye. Move right along. Probably got his head shape a little bit wrong. Hold on. Low nostril. Surprisingly, I was having trouble finding like high resolution like pictures of birds of prey. All of them are so small. At least all the ones that I thought were decent enough to draw from. Okay. Get your nose up there. Too pointy, hold on, too long. Whole new meaning to the word hawk, to the phrase hawk-nosed. Okay, there it is. Alrighty, so there we go. There's our first bird. Mine was ahead of the bird, and that's not this bird. AA Mime? I don't know who that is. Who's AA Mime? Alrighty, next picture. If I can find it. These pictures so much. There's some really fun poses in here that I found. I have too many bird pictures. Alright, let's do... Ooh, I kind of want to do that one too. We may try to do more than 3. I might just go for a little while longer because there's so many good ones. Oh, that's such a fun photo. Okay, let's do... I worry that this one might be too intimidating if I put it up here. Gosh, I'm stuck. This is why I shouldn't have opened so many. I'll close that one before we did that one. Let's do a bird in flight. I feel like a bird in flight would be a good one. I'm trying to find, there's like 3 different ones. I feel like this one has the least confusing feathering going on. Oh boy, I just got so excited about all these cool pictures. Okay, yeah, let's do this guy. It's probably the most direct one, and you can really see what we were just talking about pretty well. So, I'm gonna copy this one, slide it into chat, and you can find all these on. I pulled all these off my Pinterest board. So if anybody is looking for any reference pictures, or if you don't like the ones I picked, but you don't want to spend time Googling, help yourself to my Pinterest. Alright. There we go. Bird number 2. Alright. I'm going to zoom in on this one a little bit because it's pretty blurry, so hopefully you guys can see that okay. Make sure that's actually on my screen. There we go. Okay. Post the pic. Oh. Yeah, I guess I could. I'm gonna do that. Should probably make sure that people can find it. There is my split. I didn't have time to be more selective, so. Number 2. Alright, there we go. Pick is up in Discord, and it's also in chat. Don't feel like you have to go at my speed either. If anybody is still working on that first one, by all means, continue to work on the first one. Close. I have so many things open right now. Don't want my computer to start lagging. Too many screens. Alright, there we go. I can actually see things now. So, same thing with this one that we had on the last one. I'm gonna merge down again. I don't forget. So now there's not in the right folder. So confused. For some reason. There we go. Okay. Keep our sketches together. Alright, sorry, layer issues as usual. So, same thing, we're gonna look at shapes and angles. So I'm gonna try and pay a little bit better attention to, like, don't forget about movement. So it might be tempting to just, like, you know, draw them really straight, but if you look, like, the arch of the body is kind of angled down a little bit, and then the wings kind of do the same thing. Now this is kind of a funny angle right here, so that part might throw you off. You're getting some foreshortening of the wing on this end, so don't be weirded out if it looks weird on your end, because you're definitely, if you look at like how small this wing is compared to how much of the page this one takes up, just be aware that's what's going to happen. So don't feel bad. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just that's the shape of the image. Yeah, keep in mind movement as well as shape. They're both going to kind of help your drawing go from looking super rigid to looking maybe more natural. So right away, the first thing I'm noticing is, like, there's really big chunks. I mean, you can already see that I drew the first part. You can see those pieces of the wing I was talking about. So here's that first layer, here's that secondary layer, and then here's the primary layer. It's part of why I picked this one, because I wanted to illustrate that. Same thing here. I forget what these, I think they're called coverlets. I could be wrong about that. Pretty sure they're called coverlets. And then you've got your secondaries, and you can see, like, this is where the hand would be, right? So we've got our elbow, our shoulder blade. So this, if you can imagine what's going on underneath, there's the bones there. And you can see where the hand is. You know, our wrist can, like, move up and down, right? Well, same thing with a bird wing. So all of this whole section, that's the part that folds down. So if you notice, it looks like it's almost separated. There's a really strong, like, division right here. Even here, you can see it in all three sections, right? They're very clearly separate from this part. And that's why. It's because that part is, like, the eagle is kind of like got its hand fully outstretched right now in the flapping motion. And as it comes down, it's almost like swimming through the air a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind too if you're struggling. Remember, just think about the anatomy going on under the wing, and then you're going to have a much easier time kind of knowing how things are folding and where things are supposed to go as you're drawing. Plus, it's just fun to think about. But yeah, I really like these really heavy top feathers here. They're kind of making their own little section by the shoulder blades, which is fun. Oh, hey Mei Xing, how are you doing? Good to see you. How's your morning? We're having a bit of a 30-minute sketch challenge this morning. Welcome to join or just hang out if you'd like to. Talking about bit parts of the wing, trying to learn. So remember we talked about on the dorsal side of the wing, the end feathers are always stacked underneath, and then when you flip it over, your view is going to be opposite. And I've got some photos I can pull that'll show that a little bit more clearly, but when trying to figure out how to stack those feathers, sometimes I'm trying my bird a little too big here. It's easier to remember it that way. And if I remember right, I was told there's like 9 or 10 primary feathers usually in this section of the wing. Let's count. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so there's 10 primary feathers on the hand part. So I imagine there's probably at least 10 in the secondary part. I'm not sure about right here. There might be fewer. But if you're into feather counting for like prime accuracy, you can always do that. Yes. Amaze is an amazing mod. I would not be able to stream nearly as often if not for his help, so I do appreciate it. Even though he doesn't have to be, he's here for pretty much every stream, and really helps me out, so. Could not do the streaming thing without Amaze. He is truly living up to his namesake, despite what he will tell you. Okay. I'm gonna do the secondary layer first. Trying to remember to stack those feathers the right way. Remember, top to bottom too, it's just like scales, so they're gonna kind of alternate. I'm not too worried about like accuracy on feathers, to be honest with this. I just want to get the general idea, and it's helpful just honestly seeing all this stuff. I do like to point out eagles especially. It's easier to see in them. This picture's not great for it, but there's like a saddle right here on their back. So it's like they've got these 2 rows of overlapping feathers that kind of start the cascading, and it almost like sections itself out like a little saddle right between their shoulder blades. So just think of it in pieces, you know. Those are some of the shapes and stuff. It's easier to I guess it makes it less easy to get overwhelmed. So that's what I'm trying to say. Not saying it very clearly, but I am trying. There's another little section I'm noticing right here. And then finally we'll work on those big bad primary feathers. So you run into some fun overlap here because you've got your shoulder blade wings basically, or your shoulder blade feathers, excuse me, and they have their own like primaries right there. And they're kind of overlapping the primaries underneath. So it's kind of like an interesting stack up down here. Oops, hold on, I'm doing it wrong. Let me double check this all. Alright, top feathers, always top, there we go. Okay. Alright, so we got that stacking situation. And now we can add our feathers. And it's a little harder actually because the wing is fully extended to tell which feathers are fully under each other. So that's why I was kind of looking at the surrounding feathers. And I'm going to go ahead, just because I have a tendency to change wing shape if I don't, I'm going to go ahead and draw myself a little guideline to make sure I don't mess up that shape. Then I will make everything kind of fit in that. That way I don't get too crazy. I didn't do the right number. Oh no. Hold on. Gotta fix it. Travesty. That's why. I'm trying to stay too much inside my shape. Alright, something like this. These are probably too far apart. One of these days I'll actually remember which way the feathers go without having to look at reference, but that day is not today, sadly. I am not flattering you at all. Yes, he does deserve the power. Thank you, Mei Xing. You need to, one of these days, Amaze, if you're not nicer to yourself, I'm gonna really embarrass you. I'm gonna have a Amaze appreciation stream where everyone will say nice things about you until you accept them. Just to get us to stop even. That's totally fine. Trying really hard to remember my feather layering here. It's still a challenge. And I've repeated it like 7 times. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna work on the shapes over here for a second to make sure that I have this foreshortening correct. Going to be a little tricky. So we still have the same shapes, but they kind of are different. The angle is going to throw us off a little bit, so throw me off. Maybe you guys are not thrown off. You guys are probably pros. I'm a little thrown off, so I'm going to draw my shapes. And eventually, if anything you draw enough, you can start doing things like this pretty quickly. Like when I was drawing a lot of winged creatures for a while there and studying a lot of wings and using a lot of reference, I was able, to spit these out usually pretty fast. But because it has been a while and I just haven't really studied any of this recently, I'm a little rusty. So you gotta stay sharp. So you can see my foreshortening is already kind of looking kind of funny. So don't feel bad if you are like, wow, this wing looks so much shorter than the other one. Just keep with your shapes. Stick to what you're doing, and it'll look right in the end. It'll be okay. That is 100% not necessary. I don't know, Amaze. It's gonna be if you don't stop being so mean to yourself. We're gonna make it necessary. What are you up to today, Mei Xing? How's your day stacking out? Hopefully you don't have to do anything too strenuous. If you do draw anything, also, I've got a channel in my Discord where you can post these with everyone else who's doing the challenges. And even if anyone's watching, like, right now you can't draw but you'd like to later, you're welcome to share at any time. You don't have to. But anybody who wants to participate is more welcome. I feel like accountability sometimes is helpful in challenges like these, so a lot of people are kind of, I don't know, an encouragement can be helpful too. So yeah, feel free to share, that's all I'm trying to say. Gotta remember which way my feathers are going. So easy to stop doing it the right way. It's like everything is moving out and away from the body on top. And then inside is the opposite. I remember that. Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks for the, Oh no! Why did it time you out? Hold on. Amaze, I don't know where my mod tools are. What? Oh, sorry. Why can't I thought people could send links. Sorry about that. I don't know where my mod tools are, like, never easy to find for some reason. It's like I have to actually be watching my own video to see the mod tools. Thank you. Thanks, Maze. See, this is why he's amazing. He's like the best mod ever. So on it. So helpful. He knows how to do all the things. I honestly don't think I would even know how to mod my own stream. Like I can't find my mod tools. What kind of design is that? I ideally want to work on this project. Oh, cool. What are you working on? Let's see. I'm gonna pause my timer here to check out some art. Oh. You have to be 18 or older. Why? Oh, these are so pretty. Nice. Well, if there's any winged creatures that you want to practice, this is a good opportunity. I love this. This is awesome. Wow, this looks like a really involved project. Well done. I'll have to check that out more later. Oh shoot, I am doing this wrong, aren't I? It's so hard to see on this picture. Am I doing this the right way? Hold on. Because it almost looks like it's this way. That's not right, that's wrong. It looks like the underside of the wing. It must be this way. I must just be seeing this wrong. It has to be this way. Gosh, this picture is blurry. That was the only downside. I couldn't find a well-lit picture that showed all the layers of a big wing like this. That wasn't either half dark and you couldn't see anything, or just like super small and like low resolution. I'm getting confused again. Hold on. Ah. Trying to remember. It's just because they're so spread out, it's really hard to tell in the picture which one is layered on top. Getting confused. I'm pretty sure it has to be this way. This is the only way that makes sense. Okay. I'm just gonna say because they're so spread out, it's hard to tell. Alright. Boy, that was a confusing time for me, guys. I'm sorry. This picture's throwing me off a lot. Oh wait. No. Oh, it's still right. I'm just very easily confused, it turns out. Okay. Yeah, no, that's still right. Don't mind me, guys, just confusing myself a little here. Okay. This is why I'm learning too. Here we go. That's where I'm messing up. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, I had that back part. Alright, let's move on to the tail. So anyway, if you got confused, don't worry, so did I. Feathers are hard. Especially if you're trying to be really accurate. Oh, I don't know if I'm trying to be really accurate, this is pretty scribbly. Right, we need to go feathers this time. This part's always fun because like the end of the tail, it kind of like stacks a little bit. So you've got a few feathers laying on top of each other. And I would imagine this is again to like help with that wind resistance as they're flying. I like how frayed some of these tail feathers are too. It's kind of a fun feature. Or at least you can see a lot of the little detail bits. I don't know. Detail bits is definitely the scientific term. That's what they're called in the books. Danny's not here to correct me. Oh yeah! Aww, child is screaming. Oh no, yes, go take care of your child. Thanks for coming and hanging out though. thanks for sharing your project too. Looking forward to seeing what you do with it. Now I'm just gonna kind of fill in these tiny ones to create the illusion of more layers, because it kind of looks like if you look too close you can almost see like multiple little lines. And they are lined up like that, but they still are on that same like section. This big bunch right here. So I always try to make them a little lighter in my sketches, just so visually you don't get overwhelmed looking at me. I kind of made them dark too, a little too dark there, but yeah. All right, cool. We have our burp. Sorry if anybody was ready to move on and I just got really confused and held you back, but I'm gonna move on to the next one now. So thank you for your patience. And I know I sound like a broken record, but if you want to use different pictures, you don't have to wait on me either. I'm just kind of going at my own pace here. Probably shouldn't have had that shadow. I'm not worried about value. I might pull up like a headshot too of an eagle real quick, just to like learn a little bit about their faces. I do really like how a lot of birds of prey have these little like feather stripey things. I know I don't need to be drawing that, but I'm just gonna. Okay, there we go. Bird. Oh, there's feather stripes here. Like all of them. They're so good. These are the little details that are fun to add when you're like painting these animals. Like, look at these cool like dark tipped wings with stripes. I just like them, but I should probably stop. It's looking kind of scribbly already. Color that later. Okay. So yeah, check out that crazy foreshortening right there. Like, it's so much smaller. Hopefully, even without shadow, you can kind of tell that it's intentional. Like, hopefully you can see that section pointing down. But if not, that's okay. There's room for improvement. All right, verb number 3. Let's do it. Discord stream died. Yeah, sorry. I honestly think it might just be too much to try and screen share to multiple places. I think it's just my computer's gonna time out stuff that's using up extra resources. So I'm not sure. I'll try and do it again, but yeah, I don't know how effective that's gonna be. Alrighty. She gave you a few minutes. Nice, nice. Okay. Picture number 3. Let's see. So, I kind of wanted to do at least one whoa, calm down, computer. Why do you do that? Do this, freaks me out. Okay. I kind of want to do either a secretary bird or a bearded vulture. We could do an owl too. I think that would be fun. Although, man, I do love this picture of this harpy eagle. It's so good. But I have this really fun view. Hopefully you guys wouldn't be mad if I did it. It's just like some fun poses. So here's like a really, I kind of like this one. Let's do this one. Copy. We're gonna do this one real quick. I might switch it up and we'll try and maybe do a 4th. I've got time. I'm still waiting for it to, excuse me. Gosh, my voice is like struggling lately. I don't know why. Where's my picture? There you are. I'm waiting for it to warm up outside. This picture might be too big to fit here. Let me go back over here. Let's go back by these guys. Okay. Because I need to go let the chickens out at some point today, but it's still too cold outside. But my goal today is to basically put my studio back together after I let out the chickens. and then hopefully have time to do a few things this evening. I don't think I have any. Hopefully I don't have any appointments today. I don't think I do. Oh, right, I forgot I'm supposed to put this in Discord. Alright, another picture for you guys. Open Discord. Oops. Yeah, I don't think it's screen sharing in Discord anymore. I tried. Wait. Maybe it is. Oh, I'm so confused. I think I might just end the Discord stream if it's gonna keep bugging out. We'll let it go one more time. Oh my gosh. Let's see. There it is. Found it. Okay. Too many windows and my monitor is too far away from me. I am ready to have my old setup back. I really liked what I had in the studio. Here we go. Okay. Watch this. Okay. Let's do it. Thanks for linking those links, Amaze. Appreciate ya. So there is a link in the chat as well. Who needs that? I still see all my cameras working. How wonderful. I was pretty sure it was going to. Okay. Everything's back. Yeah. I also think, honestly, like trying to talk with my neck stretched out like that is kind of, I don't know, it's making it, like, I feel like it's harder for me to talk. My voice has been getting better though, so for those who are curious, it is getting stronger day by day, so recovering well. Yeah, every once in a while I still have some issues. Hoping that that goes away with time. That's what they tell me. They tell me it will go away with time. Just hope and trust that. So this is a bearded vulture. It has a couple of names actually. It's also called, man, I don't know if I should have said that because I can't really pronounce the other one, but it's like a lamiger? Laminizer? Hold on. It's an old world vulture. Lammergeier? Lammergeier, maybe? Kind of like Geier Falcon? I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm gonna type it in chat, and then you guys can try to pronounce it whenever you would like to. There you go, that's what it's called. No idea how to say that. Yeah, they're really cool. Really cool birds. I'm surprised my stream isn't buffering. Are you guys, let me know if you're having any issues. I forgot to plug in my Ethernet cable today, so I'm actually Ethernet? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce anything, guys. I just read words, I don't say them, okay? Yeah, I forgot to plug in my cable to the hardline internet, whatever you want to call it today. And so I'm technically streaming wireless, which is going to be a weaker signal if my roommate decides to stream something or uses it for any reason. So just let me know if there's some issues. And I will go grab that and plug in. Since it seems to be working okay, I'll just hope for the best. Amaze bro wanted to show you a thing. Nice, nice. Hopefully it was a cool thing. Or a good thing. Yeah, Lammergeier, I think is how you say this. So for this pose, because it's so wonky, just definitely remember your anatomy that we talked about, right? So that's basically what's going on in the wing there. It may not be quite that sharp, but you got your shoulder, you got your arm, and again, that foreshortening is going to get you. So there's those fingers, and it's kind of coming around like that. So you're looking at just like this very stark angle of the wing, basically. And you can see it better over here, for sure. But he's doing the same thing with both wings. you're just seeing a head-on view of this one. So try to remember hand is like, these are like the fingers almost on the hand. I have the fours better. You got your shoulder, your femur. Oh my gosh, what is this one called? No, that's... You've got this thing. You've got this part of your arm. Maybe we just need to study human anatomy. Shoulder, this part of your arm, the forearm, and then the wrist, right? So, yeah, here's our hand, and here's our little finger feathers going off. So, anyway, I should have just kept the other drawing. That's way better. Alas. You know what I'm trying to say, guys. Go for it. You got this. Just remember your anatomy, remember your motion lines. So we got like this U shape, and this, it's almost like a pitchfork. That's what we got going on here. You can even draw them if you'd like to. Sometimes that is helpful to show the top of your mind where the action's going. Whatever's easiest for you. Humorous? Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm just gonna call it a bearded vulture. You could do that. That is an option. Or you try to say the fun word. That's the other option. But that's fair. I also usually just call it a bearded vulture. They're really fun though. They're really pretty animals. I love that you can kind of see this little shape here. Like you can almost see a direct line of feathers down his front, and then kind of how they come up and shield and cover, you know, the trunk of his body or her body. It's really fun. Really enjoy this picture. I'm just trying to get a feel for myself, like where all the bits are. I think the ankle. I think it's actually stretched out, so I think it's like that. So you got this big muscle right here, and then the little feet coming out of it. Yeah, you got little bones. Remember, this is what they look like underneath. Remember your skeletons. So probably something like that is going on underneath there. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Isn't one of them like the tibia? Or is that the leg bone? Clearly I need to brush up on my anatomy. It's gonna have to go on the list of the practice streams. Human anatomy. I think we did have an anatomy class at my high school, but I didn't take it. I didn't really, I mean, I haven't really looked at anatomy like studiously other than to draw things. I need to probably actually commit bones and muscles, at least the big ones, you know, to memory. Kind of showing my ignorance here. Oops. Sorry. Getting a little caught up in these fun markings. Shouldn't be doing that right now. See, this is a bad habit that I have. I start to work on, oh yeah, I have the tibia of the leg bone. See, I need to brush up. It's probably humorous, you're probably right. I could just look it up, but I'm not going to right now. I thought that was the femur. Maybe that's the big one. I don't know. Anything. My lack of human anatomy knowledge aside, you can still see where the bones go, even if you don't know what their names are. So it's okay. We will study that another day. It's going to turn into like an anatomy lesson. See, I gotta break this habit, so that's part of what I'm trying to do. I get too tight too fast. So I kind of bring myself into these details quickly. I don't know if you guys do that, but it's definitely something to watch out for. An interesting thing about this picture, and you can kind of see it even on this side, is that a lot of these little pin feathers here are kind of raised and like sticking out. So it's kind of misleading if you're looking at this picture. Just remember your shapes. We got our little wing, and then after you do that, you can draw these fun little like bits that are coming off. He's got some white ones, some brown ones. They kind of get lost up in here, but his soft underside feathers are all kind of fluttering in this breeze that he's creating. and kind of kicking out as he's about to land. So yeah, just try to think about what you're drawing, and sometimes, at least for me, that helps me understand like where to place it or how, yeah, like how to draw it, I suppose. I think he's wearing pants. I'm gonna fix that. That looks really silly, but it kind of also makes me laugh. So I'm gonna keep it for a second. We'll come back to it momentarily. Got those soft under feathers here. I love how soft the birds are underneath. It's kind of fun. Alright, there we go. Here's the fun part. Do our shapes. There's that arm. Don't look like that. Sorry if this feels too challenging, guys. I'm looking at this and it is complex, but I think we can do it, okay? So I'm gonna start by sketching what I know, right? So I know his shoulder comes out here. I know this goes this way. And I know what I'm looking at is the underside here and the top side here. So let's draw those top side feathers because those are fun. I love when they're kind of at that sharp angle. It's just a very dramatic angle, I think, to look at feathers from. Okay, so there's those. And then I can see they start to kind of cascade once they get here. And they start kind of, you start seeing a little bit more of them. So we're gonna do this way. Yeah. Okay. And there's like that third row, right? So we had our first row, which is on top, we can't see. Here's the secondary feathers, right? And then we've got our primary sticking out at the bottom. So I'm gonna draw those first. It's crazy. So if you compare and you remember our sections, what's happening is we're actually seeing this is the top section right here. So the angle we have is so close. It's probably hard for you guys to see. I'll zoom in. But what we're basically looking at is a head-on view of these feathers right here, right? And they end actually down here, believe it or not. Oh, hold on. I want to tell you the wrong thing. It's really hard to tell from this angle. They definitely are here. The top ones right there. I'm trying to figure out what these are. This is throwing me off right here. Because these are all secondaries, now that I'm looking closer. So this is that top section. And this is the bottom section. I think there's definitely an overlap happening. There's like 2 rows there for sure. I just don't know. I kind of want to, hold on, I'm going to look at a different angle of a Lammergeier and see if I can figure out what they are so I can make sure I know how I'm to draw this. Where is, I have 2 options for this bird. Ah, okay, interesting. So they have really long, maybe that's what that is. I'll let you guys decide. Here's the picture I found, the other one I was going to use. We're just going to compare and contrast really fast. Come on. So you can see, hopefully, they've got some really interesting, they've got a really interesting wing shape right here. So that's part of the angle. We're seeing like they have really long, I mean, look how long these primary feathers are. They're almost as long as these from where they attach, right? Like really, really long primaries. And it looks like they even have a few extra. No, they're just layering funny. It's misleading here, but this feather shape is actually like that for this primary and this one. So some of these look kind of funny because of that. You can see it really clearly right here in these ones. That's really interesting. But look at how far out these come. So they've got these really long, first of all, underarm feathers basically, which you can see right here. These black and white ones. And then they have this really fun So here's their three sections, right? There's 1, 2, and then 3 is really angular. So these are super long down here, and that's what we're seeing. These are the really long ones, and the really long secondaries. So these are the secondaries right here, and these are the primaries. Gotcha. Interesting. Alright, so now we know. Or now I know. Maybe you guys already knew and you're just yelling at me through the screen like, Casey, it's so obvious. How do you not see that? Alright, well now that I have figured out what I'm looking at, maybe you guys already knew. I'm gonna finish this one. Interesting, interesting, interesting. See, this is the fun thing about drawing from reference, guys. You learn so much. Or you watch me learn so much. Maybe everyone else knows. I don't know. There's a bunch of bird experts in here. Where did my thing go? To watch. Where's my stream, guys? There it is. Okay. Yeah, you gotta remember those feathers. Oh, look at that. Amaze is doing his own lesson there. Humorous is the forearm. Wait. Humorous is the upper arm. Okay, and then the radius. See, I knew this was the radius because I broke my radial bone when I was younger. That's the only reason I know that. The radius and the ulna because they like twirl. Yeah, okay, humorous. For some reason, I think because I think funny bone, I always think that's like by my elbow. Because it sounds like humor. Yeah, you gotta study anatomy, guys. Clearly not on the up and up. Okay, so what we're seeing here then, just to break it down for anyone who's still a little confused, this is that top section right here, right? The darker red is gonna be, shoot, how am I gonna, well they're all the second section, but these parts go together, and like that's the upper side, and this is the underside of the wing is these parts down here. So if you're still having trouble with this image, think of it like that. It looks like it's just a little bit of a visual. What am I trying to say? Not visual. What's it called? I can't think about anything today. Optical illusion. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a little bit of an optical illusion because this line looks like it goes right into that line, and it kind of does, but not. It's like more of a tangent. That's what we call in art when two things are touching so closely that they look like they're, like when you have like, people do it all the time with like, here's my hand and here's the moon and they take a photo of it, right? That's a tangent technically. When lines are so close, it looks like, it like distorts what your eye understands about where things are distance-wise. It happens a lot in illustration. They're really important to watch out for in a drawing. So if you want to, you can take some artistic liberties here and kind of just detangentify the picture. And it's okay to do things like that. You don't have to stick to the, as long as you're doing it intentionally, sticking to the reference 100% is not always the best idea. Especially with, when we get to like environments and stuff, I think it's even more helpful there because environments are really involved. And if you draw every tree, sometimes it actually just will make your drawing look cluttered. So taking a little bit of liberty is okay. It oftentimes can help a drawing. And in this case, I want to make it a little more clear what is going on in this picture. So I'm just gonna take my own artistic liberties here. And make it really clear that these feathers go together. And I love that you can see the transition of the way the feathers overlap right there too. That also will help a little bit with that. Man, these wing shapes are so fun. So there's my artistic license I'm taking right there. Kind of separate those a bit. Clean it up so you can see the gap. small after all that. Yeah. Well, maybe not that small. This is a tricky angle. It's okay. This was one of those pictures that would benefit greatly from shading. So if you feel like clarifying the image a little bit and doing some shading, that is okay too. I'm not going to do that just now, but really like these fun feather shapes that are going on up here. I never noticed that before. I wonder if the other... I guess maybe eagles have that too, now that I'm looking more closely. I'll have to pay more attention next time I look at an eagle picture. Didn't make this long enough. That's a little disappointing. Loving the way that I'm drawing this. Hold on. You can do better than this. See, now this bird only has 8 primary feathers. Interesting. I wonder if that's part of being like in a different grouping. It's like it's an old world vulture. Maybe they all have fewer? I don't know. Interesting. So I was told most birds have 10. That's kind of interesting to note. So remember, your exterior feather on the underside of the bird is always going to overlap on this side. So whereas we can only see part of the end feather, you should be able to always see the majority of the end feather on these. Something to keep in mind. Although this bird is really funny because it has so many feathers going so many ways. It's sort of hard to keep track. Now notice the primaries on the underside are much, much shorter than the ones on the outsides, right? Like they're very, especially on this bird, like very close to these coverlets, I guess. I need to really probably look up what they're really called. They might be called that. That sounds right. Why do I know that and not humorous? Wait. I'm gonna draw a little tiny, and they get kind of pointy on these vultures toward the inside, which is a little fun. You can almost see them in like different groups, right? I'm gonna emphasize that group a little more. Alrighty, there we go. I hope my chickens are okay. I didn't check on them yesterday because it was so cold. Ah! Didn't want to open the door on them, let out any of their heat. Cozy in there. Alrighty. These ones are a little hard to parse down here, but oh yeah, the feet. I forgot. forgot about his little pants. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna erase some of those guidelines and draw the underfluff here. I really do like how layered it all looks. And then we're gonna give him those nice fluffy feet. Go a little bit on top of his toes there too. Coming into the hand, little muscle. Let's try that a little better, shall we? So many toes. Oh, thank you. I don't know about that, but hopefully once I clean it up a little bit, hopefully it'll read a little better. They have these really really distinctive head shapes, vultures. It's hard to see in this picture, but you can see like it's got, I haven't really done a good job of defining it in mine. They have this, it's almost like a seagull, like you can really see the defined, yeah, it's just super defined, like because they don't have those big dramatic head feathers that you find on other eagles and things, although this one's pretty dramatic. Yeah, I haven't done a good job of drawing that yet. I need to clarify that since I'm thinking about it. That very angular, sloping, oops, drew that on the wrong layer. Shoot. But that sloping head is very distinctive for vultures. It's kind of how you differentiate them. I'm sure yours looks good too. I am excited to see what you've come up with today. How much of this did I draw on the wrong layer? There it is, that's what I'm trying to draw on. Shoot. Shoot! Okay. Stay on the right layer, Casey. There we go. Nice little lion's mane feathering going on here too, which is a lot of fun. They're very dramatic looking birds. I feel like they're one of the cooler, you know, a lot of people don't really like vultures. There's a lot of negative connotations, obviously, diseases and stuff, but they're also represented as like, you know, harbingers of doom in a lot of media. But I think they're really, I mean, they're really important part of the ecosystem, right? Like they're the ones kind of cleaning up everything and making sure, I don't know, they're like, they're kind of like the garbage men of the animal world, in a way. And you need them. Like, they're important people. And these ones, I feel like, look so different than other vultures that it's easy to forget that it's almost easy to forget that they're a vulture. You can kind of see them as, like, just a really interesting eagle. Like an eagle that eats carrion. At least that's how I feel about them. I do feel like I'm not giving this one enough of a jaw for what I'm seeing, which is a little annoying. I think I made his head tilted up too high. Might be why. So, always some issues, but it's okay. We're still learning. We're learning, guys. We're learning. To define this, I like this little section that his feathers make. I want to make sure I draw that before I go to the next one. What time are we at? Oh, it's already 11:30. Shoot. I wonder if I have time for another one. Spent so long looking up anatomy. Alright. Lammergeier, I think, is how you say that. That's what we're gonna go with. Hopefully though, as you do this, you start to notice that you move faster. You know, like, oh, I figured out how to do XYZ thing. or I know what I'm looking at here, so I can do this part a little quicker this time. That's kind of the goal, right? Is to increase your knowledge so that you can draw more automatically. You know, a lot of people are always like, oh, I could never do that in a million years when you just sit down and draw something without a reference, but it's like, well, I couldn't either unless I had actually sat down and drawn the real thing a number of times. So that's the whole point. If you want to be better at drawing from imagination, you have to start with reality, you know? You have to know what something actually looks like so that you can exaggerate it for a character design, for animation, or for whatever. All right, let's do a really fast portrait, and then I kind of wanted to do, so I forgot, on my little schedule here, I wrote down Appreciate a Dragon Day is today. And I know this is a warm-up stream, but I might end the stream with a little tiny dragon doodle if you guys are okay with that, and if not, I apologize. You don't have to stay for it. We're gonna do one, let's do a portrait. I really want to do, so you guys might hate this because it's kind of feathery and crazy. It's not really what this animal looks like, but I found this really great picture of a secretary bird. And it makes me laugh, obviously. And I mean, I'll give you guys some options, but I think I'm gonna draw the secretary bird, and you guys can do what you want. And maybe not if you don't want to. I'm gonna do this guy because it brings me joy. How do I... Let's see. Okay, you ready? Oh, he's so big. Why are all these pictures so big? Right, I'm gonna try and fit him over here just a little smaller. Can you guys see that? Is that showing up on the screen? I noticed yesterday on stream when I was looking at the playback. Ah, yeah, some of it's off screen. There we go. So there's our photo. I like this picture a lot. Normally secretary birds don't look wet like this, but I just think it looks so fun. And the raised feathers are fun. It's just fun. So I'm gonna do this one. However, if you would like a more classical portrait, I also have this one, which I will post. I'll put it down here just to show you guys, but I'll post both of these in Discord. So yeah, you can do, you don't have to do the whole body if you don't want to, you can just do the portrait, which would just be, you know, whatever part of the, oops, upper body you would like to do. I think harpy eagles, they have a really distinctive crest, you know, and just really fun, blocky, powerful looking bird shapes. So if you want to do this one, it's a very classic one. I'm probably gonna do the secretary bird though, so I'm gonna draw this guy because he's funny. He's very funny to me. Okay, let me post those really fast in Discord so I don't forget. Where is my Discord? I can't find anything. I have too many tabs. Oh my goodness. Okay, go. Oh, sorry. This stability ball chair situation is not ideal. It's what I'm learning. I don't know what people are talking about, like being better for your posture. I feel like I'm like slouching more. Okay. I'm just gonna put extra options. So there's one. And I was also thinking about this one. Secretary birds are great. If you guys aren't familiar with secretary birds, they're kind of, I think they're in their own category. Like they're birds of prey, but they don't really have any close, well, like super close relatives. Like they're not hawks, they're not eagles, they're not stork. Like they're these really stretched out birds of prey that I like a lot. And there are some in my comic, which is part of why I wanted to draw one today. Because I'm trying also to refresh my memory on birds I don't draw often. Why did that post twice? Here's mine. Yes, copy. I love this thing. He just looks so wet and bedraggled. How can you not like him? Okay, I think I posted it. I'm getting weird alerts from Discord, I think, from the voice stream thing. Got to find my Twitch. There it is. Okay. And my chat. Okay. I don't know why I posted the harpy twice. I think it just double posted for some reason. Sorry about that. I fixed it though, so they're both in there now. Okay, now I can see everything again. So I'm hoping you guys can pull up the image on your own, because I might just so I can see. I might have to move this a little bit. It's not too bad right now. But I don't like drawing on top of... Actually, maybe just shrink it. Wait, how do you do this inside? I don't actually know. Hold on. I don't know what's happening. Let's get out of this. How do I get out of this? Cancel. Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know why that didn't work before. Let's scale it down a bit and slide it over here. Okay. Okay. Now you can all see and I can see. Look at this funny burb. I'll put them all in one post. Oh, no worries. It's okay. I don't mind. You can clutter whatever you want to color. Look how scraggly and wet. Looks like he's really angry about being out in a rainstorm. He's so funny. Birds are hilarious. Just like a grumpy little dinosaur. Look at him. Alright, we're gonna go with adding feathers to a basic under shape here. It's fun because when you draw it this way, like you can really see the similarities to dinosaur skeletons. Oh yeah, this stability ball situation is. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. Sorry. So if you see me bouncing around, I'm just trying to like not go numb from sitting on this thing. Oh no. I think I lost my stream. Can't tell if I'm... Oh, am I still on? Okay. I think I lost my stream for a second there. I went and plugged into my landline. Hopefully it's working again. Am I live? I think I'm live. Okay. I don't know. If not, then I'm just gonna draw and talk to myself. So that'll just be what I'm doing. It does say it's unstable. Wonder... Oh, there it goes. Okay. Great. Oh, I am. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. We are now plugged into the landline, though. kind of surprised that didn't happen earlier, to be honest. This angry boy. I mean, look at these. Look, just look. How do you not? How do you not both love and pity this creature at the same time? Like, he's so angry. Okay. I'm sorry. Stop. Probably being distracting. Serious artists are trying to focus, Casey. But yeah, just keep in mind if you ever do draw a secretary bird that they normally are not like this. Like this is not the level of fluff typically associated. Like he also just kind of looks cold. You know, like this is clearly not an animal who's used to being damp. So easily amused, it's a problem. Okay. And then pay close attention if you can. Hopefully the picture that is higher resolution that you're using, because I did shrink this one down a bit. But the layering of the feathers right here is part of why I wanted to do this too, because you can really see just like when they're raised, you can really like pick out all the little shapes in them. It's just a lot of fun. You can see the, yeah, just like the different ways that they layer. Looks like a little pine cone or something. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna focus on his fluffy bits first because I like these. What is even happening with you right now, Mr. Bird? Yeah, that is a dignified animal. You're right. It's very dignified. Look at him. That is dignity personified. Bird-sonified? Either way, it's the picture of dignity. Probably need to go a little faster and not be quite so specific. I do need to get going in a little bit, but more things to do today. As much as I would love to just sit around and draw. See, when I first left teaching to be an illustrator, this is what I thought I'd get to do all day. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like draw all day and eventually someone will pay me for it and it'll be great. No. I feel like I get to draw like maybe 50% of the time I'm doing studio work. And then the other 50% is like fighting with technology or fighting with social media or trying to do any amount of networking or, I don't know, just business stuff, you know? It's not, I wish it was this all day. Maybe if I can ever get to the place again where I'm full-time instead of part-time illustrating, like I was when I first came to Colorado, maybe I'll have more time. But right now, man, it's tempting to do this all day though and just sit here and draw animals with you guys. One day we'll do stuff like that. I was thinking about doing I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I have a cheesy name in mind, but I was thinking of doing a stream series called Casey's Creature Feature. I don't know yet if that's if I'll end up doing it, but I don't know. I just kind of thought it's fun to learn about the animals you're drawing too, so I just kind of thought maybe we could draw some animals and talk about them and learn about them. Yeah. I mean, I'm no zoologist, but it's still plenty fun to learn. And if I can ever figure out how to do that track thing, it's on my list this week to figure out too. Where I can have like, you know, copyrighted audio on stream and then it records a different copyright-free audio for the VOD, so I don't get dinged. Figure out how to do that, and maybe we could watch some stuff too. At the very least, I'd love to listen. I think I said this on stream yesterday, but I would love to listen to my own music again. This lo-fi stuff is nice, but it's a little boring after a while. I do miss songs that I know. I'm not gonna worry too much about that part because I can't see what's happening. I think I went a little overboard here. Made his neck a little too skinny. I'm gonna fluff him up a bit. Alright, so here's the fun feathers, right? You got these big crest feathers that kind of shoot out of their crown. So I'm gonna draw his body shape first so I know where to put them. That damp looking animal. He's so frowny. You can see his whole frowny face. I think that's why I like it. Well, one of many reasons. Okay. line's a little bit off here. I think I made his beak too long. Definitely curves pretty sharply downward pretty quickly. So a fun fact about these guys, for those who may not know, is they actually kill their prey by stomping on it, believe it or not. They have these really long legs, and they're just really powerful, and they pack a punch, and they just like snakes especially, they just kind of stomp them to death, and then eat them up with their little beak. It's kind of funny. I mean, not funny for the snake, but it's an interesting way to, you know, get a meal. Oh, he looks so angry. Oh my gosh, birds. Why are you the way that you are? Okay. Fun part now. Best part of secretary birds, for sure, is this crazy hairdo. This is how you can tell he's drying out, because like everything's raised. You know, he's not like in a threat posture or anything, he's just standing there, but he's fluffing up because it looks like he's just damp and he's trying to dry out. I love it so much. Okay. That's too big. You've seen footage of them killing the snake? Yeah, it is really cool. It's a cool technique. It's definitely unique in the bird world, I believe. I don't think there's any other birds that do that. I could be wrong. Pretty sure that they're the only ones, though. It's very funny. Okay. There we go. Secretary bird. So if you've never seen a secretary bird before, if this is your first time, there you go. If you didn't know that they were birds of prey, well, there you go. They are. They are in that category. Taking some artistic liberties here. And just draw a little bit of frazzling on some of these, because I think it's really funny how, yeah, broken up and fluffy these feathers look, because they're really not supposed to. Not to this degree, anyway. Alright. I also like that you can just see these little, like, rough edges on these feathers here, because they're so damp. I'm not going to draw all the middle lines on all of these feathers, but I'm sure you guys know what feathers look like. I'm not going to explain that either. You guys are smart cookies. I feel like I'm ruining this because I'm trying to make these little fluffs. What a funny animal. I know I'm not supposed to be shading. I know I'm supposed to be going away, but I just wanna color in these feathers because I like them. No, that one's too dark. Stick to the lighter coloring. I also think it kind of makes it, it's just so crazy with all these feathers. It makes it a little more readable to add some shading. So I'm just going to do that. Hold please. Must shade feathers. Okay. Why does it keep doing that? hopefully that helps clarify it a little bit more. It's not quite so nuts. As opposed to peregrine falcons who will just punch you at Mach 2. That's true. I did have some peregrine falcon reference pictures pulled up to potentially use today, but we didn't. I had so many pictures pulled up. It's kind of silly how long I spent looking at reference pictures this morning. I'm gonna give that like a, just need to make sure he looks completely dissatisfied with life right now. Not a happy guy. Like why? Why is this the way it is? Okay. Not totally accurate, but it's making me laugh, so I'm gonna keep it that way. There we go. Some of that fun, wrinkly stuff. I'm not sure what's going on their face, to be honest. That's why that looked weird. This whole time. Just drew his nose too close. Alright. So another technique that I haven't really talked about as far as like references go that probably most of you already know, but especially if you're digital, it's easy to do this. You can also, if you're drawing traditionally, hold it up to a mirror, but flipping the image can help you find places that you just didn't see before that, you know, could use some work. And I don't do it often enough. I probably need to do it more. But it can really help because when you've been looking at something from one angle for a while, you just kind of get used to the way you've proportioned everything. And it can make it difficult to catch mistakes. So let's see if Sai has an easy way to do that. It does. Perfect. So let's look at our work before I head out. See, like right away I see an issue with the head here. Should have done this earlier. There we go. Need that. Wait. Shoot. Where's my on? There we go. Yeah. It's a good way to check your work. Because it forces you to look at it with totally new eyes. Oh wow, this one's really messed up. Oh man, I don't have time to redo all of that. Let's just redo the beak. I knew that beak was bothering me. It's a little better. It's not too bad. Oh, finally got a head shape right, so that's good. Let's see about this one. No, but I like how angry he looks. I know it's not right, but I'll just I'll give him a little bit more of an eyelid. Just layered it out. Oh my gosh, why do I do this every time? Just like how angry. I don't know if I want to do it accurately. Doesn't look as angry now. I might just keep it. It's okay. I didn't fluff him up enough on the front. It's a little frustrating. Why would I do that? His expression is so that. I know. It's great. It's so great. It's just not fluffy enough. Really missed a fluffy opportunity here. My wrist is in the way. Technically his fluff is wrong. That's okay. You guys get the point. He is fluffy. Okay. Alright, let's flip it back. Sweet. Alright, well there's our burbs. We made them. Good job, everyone. If anybody wants to share the results, as always, you can always share them in Discord. More than welcome to. You don't have to. It's not required. If you're just sketching on your own and you're happy to do it on your own, that is fine. But I'll be doing this again tomorrow. So what the plan is for tomorrow is to, I will be back in my studio, so my setup will be normal again. You won't have to look at my bedroom, which is strange to me. And I'll have, yeah, hopefully have my normal setup, because I know my stream setup's a little odd too. I'm like missing some things. So yeah, that'll all be back on my actual workstation once I get that set up today. And then I'll be doing, tomorrow we're doing something different. Probably the rest of the month we're not going to do it this way, but this week we decided to, some folks in Discord are like, oh, if you're doing big cats on Monday and birds of prey on Tuesday, then can we do griffins on Wednesday and like put them together? So I thought that sounded fun. I figure you can either like pick a bird and pick a big cat. I mean, I know I did lions, but if you did something other than a lion, or if you just want to pull up a new reference picture and pick a different big cat, feel free. But yeah, pick a bird of prey, pick a lion or a big cat of some kind, and we're gonna put them together tomorrow. So go find your own reference pictures. You can use the ones we've used if you'd like some of these, or you can go find your own. And then tomorrow we'll be making a griffin. It'll be fun. So yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, if you gotta go, if that was you, if you're all done with your sketching for 30 minutes, then you did it. You did day 2. Congratulations. We all did it. And I'm gonna just doodle us out on a little dragon because I gotta go soon. So so we're just gonna make a just for fun. Maybe I'll make him kind of. Let's see. Since it is Appreciate a Dragon Day, I feel like I need to do this. At least try to do this. Gosh, why am I so afraid to draw a dragon all of a sudden? What kind of dragon? Should I do a cute dragon? Scary dragon? Funny dragon? Fuzzy dragon? I don't know. I'm a little stuck now. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I'll do one with like raptor-y features. Give him like a big bird eye. That's so terrifying. Looks like a snake actually. So funny thing I learned actually on one of paleontologizing streams was that birds are actually also technically reptiles. If you look at the family tree, it's kind of fun. This just looks like a snake now because I'm thinking about snakes. Might as well lean into it. We'll do a snaky dragon. I know, mind-blowing, right? It's crazy. So in the same way that birds, so it's like all birds are dinosaurs. Like modern birds are what's left of the avian dinosaurs. But there were also non-avian dinosaurs because basically birds and reptiles kind of split off a long time ago in the tree. And so, now don't quote me because I'm probably saying this very wrong. But yeah, you can look it up on all kinds of things. And basically, so it has to do with like how we classify things, right? Like, because all dinosaurs evolved from birds, or other way around, because all birds evolved from dinosaurs, then they are dinosaurs. Like you are whatever your parents are, and what their parents are is what they are, and it just goes all the way back, right? I'm just drawing a snake right now, guys. I swear I'm trying to draw a dragon. Let's dragonize him a little bit. But yeah, so because technically they branched off from a common ancestor, which was a reptile, they are technically they're in the reptile family, and it actually makes sense. Like I think I watched a YouTube video about this guy. He literally trained a monitor lizard to hunt Like, and he used falconry techniques, and they worked. Like, it was the same type of brain registration. Like, he basically did the exact same thing that you would do with a falcon. He just did it with a lizard. Granted, a very large, intelligent lizard, but still, it actually kind of like makes sense why that worked to me, because like their functions are very similar. Like, a lot of the things about them are similar. And I don't know if that's true. That could just be my brain not understanding it that way, but yeah, they're technically reptiles, which is crazy. Did not know that. And that's why everyone should go watch that stream, because you learn things and it's fun. So in honor of Appreciate a Dragon Day, I have drawn a snake with bits. Don't know how this happened. Didn't mean to. It just sort of came out this way. There we go. Make it look a little more dragony. Here. Shoot, how am I gonna... Okay. Trying to figure out what I even drew. Not related to anything we just did, since this is technically not a stream about dragons, so I'm going to be quick. Almost done here. Just wanted to do a quick little doodle in case I don't have time to do anything else today, so I can say I participated. Oh hey, Charlie's Dragon! What are you up to? You appreciate dragons, I imagine. Happy Appreciate Dragons Day. Or Dragon Appreciation Day. That one. How are you doing? Thanks for popping in. I don't know if you saw any of the other stream, but I can show you the birds we drew today if you'd like to see them. As soon as I'm done drawing this dragon that definitely did not start out as a snake for some reason. Certainly not what that was. Wait, hold on. This dragon's name is Sven. He's a freelance artist and illustrator. That is so funny. So trying to survive the cold, I know, I feel you. That's actually why I'm streaming from my home today and not my studio. I had to jerry-rig my workstation to do this, but I had to bring home some stuff from the studio because it got down to like negative 10, I think, yesterday, and I have a liquid cooler in my new CPU that I just built, and I feel like it would freeze. Like, I don't think they're rated to be that cold, so, because my studio, it doesn't stay warm. It's not a heated building when I'm not there, so. Anyway, I've been working from home the last 2 days, but I'm about to get off stream and actually move everything back over because it's supposed to get up to 36-ish, maybe 40 today. Anyway, so here's the birds we did. Today was bird practice day for birds of prey. So start off with an eagle. We looked at skeletal stuff, talked about which way the feathers lay whenever they're, you know, whether it's a dorsal or a ventral view, slash underside. That's what that says. My handwriting is terrible. So sorry. So yeah, and then we just kind of practiced that. We talked about the different layers of wings. You can see the 3 different main sections of like the coverlets and the secondaries and the primaries. Then I just wanted to draw, how do you say this? It's a bearded vulture, but it's also called a lammergeier? Lammergeier? I don't know how to say it. We did that. And then of course this very wet and scruffy looking secretary bird. So that is what we worked on today. It was very fun. And I see the sun coming out and I'm very excited. Hopefully the snow starts melting. And now I'm drawing this dragon because it's also National Dragon Appreciation Day, apparently, as I was reminded this morning. So I felt like I had to do my due diligence and draw some kind of dragony creature. So here we are. Apparently his name is Sven, and he's all a freelance illustrator. Inexplicably. I do love that you like to make characters out of my creatures, Maze. It is a good time. See, now I'm just thinking scales, because we just drew so many feathers. Oh, you could probably answer that question better than I could. We were just talking about how I was sharing how I learned on paleontologizing that birds are reptiles. And I was trying to explain how that worked. And I believe it's because they have a shared ancestor, right? That's a reptile. Like did birds branched off from reptiles, right? So like technically they're under that. It's like animals and then reptiles and then birds and then like, right? Or no? I don't know. Anyway. I was trying to explain it, but then I realized I didn't actually know what I was talking about, and I should probably stop before I said something wrong. And then it was recorded forever on the internet. So. Alrighty, we're just gonna make this a sketchy one. Your creatures bring it out of me. Thanks. I think that's a good thing, right? I'm fine with it. I like it. It's fun. Alright, we're just gonna say this is a dragon and definitely not a snake. Oops, I already have that part. Throw some quick color on him, and then I'm probably gonna have to start moving my stuff back over to my studio. So I am ready to have everything the way it should be. I've been working really late every night on accident because it's just too easy to get sucked into projects, and stayed up till like midnight the last 2 nights in a row, so I just really need to not be working from home if I don't have to. It's a problem, especially as long as my computer's in here. Hopefully I'll get to move it back to the living room at some point, but for now, because the Christmas tree is up, it is in here, which is too tempting for me, it turns out. See, I said I was going to go, but then I wanted to keep drawing on it, and now we're having a problem because I just want to draw all day. Okay. Let's do some smoke. That's how you know it's a dragon. Smoky nose. Yeah, anyway. What color should this be? How do we feel about red? Red feels like a very dragon color. Birds are a descendant from dinosaurs, which are reptiles. Hence, they are descended from reptiles and all reptiles. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't realize all dinosaurs were reptiles. I knew the way, so what I said earlier, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you walked in at this point too. All birds are dinosaurs, but not all dinosaurs are birds, right? I knew there were like some lizard dinosaurs, and I probably asked this on stream before too, and I just don't remember the answer. I'll have to write down my question and ask it later. Yeah, anyway. Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate ya. I have that map. What is it called? One tree, tree of life map, whatever. Anyway, One Zoom. I think it's called One Zoom. If anybody wants to look at that, you can go back to One Zoom and look at it. But I have that bookmarked on my studio computer, but that is currently sitting on the floor with no cables, so I can't access it. But I do like to look around in there sometimes. How do we feel about red? I feel like red's pretty good. Yeah, it's a decent dragon color. I know I could color this faster, but there's something very therapeutic about coloring. You guys, I just like it. It feels nice. Hopefully I'll make a post on Instagram today for Dragon Day. I have plenty of dragon pictures to celebrate with, for sure. But it'd be nice to have something new, so here we are. Anyway, I forget, do you draw too? Charlie's Dragon? Are you just a dragon fan? Can't remember if we've talked about this. Oh, yes, onezoom.org. Thank you. But yeah, it blew my mind too, Maze. I feel you. My jaw was like on the floor. I was like, what? 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 Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even see that it blocked your links. But are birds cold-blooded? I don't even think all dinosaurs are cold-blooded. And technically there's some mammals that are warm-blooded. See, this is another thing I learned over there, which is why you should go watch. It's really interesting. Not like, there's like some mammals that are cold-blooded. I I forget which ones. I think is sloth is cold-blooded. There's a few others. Anyway, so like cold and warm-bloodedness is not an indicator of whether or not something is a reptile or a bird or a mammal. It's like most are commonly one thing, kind of like how most animals have live birth, but not all mammals have live birth. You know, like echidnas and platypuses and stuff. Platypi, and stuff like that. And I'd never thought about it that way either. But yeah, like I think growing up, to help you remember like what the differences are, I think you're just kind of taught like, okay, mammals are this, and birds and reptiles are this, and you just like associate those traits with them. But just because most of them have those traits doesn't mean that not having those traits means they're not a mammal, right? Like just because an echidna lays eggs doesn't mean it's not a mammal. It just happens to be a mammal that lays eggs. There aren't very many of them. It's not very common, but alas. And same thing with like warm and cold-bloodedness. Because I think, isn't it turtles? Turtles are warm-blooded, so it's a reptile, right? But it's a warm-blooded reptile. So yeah, interesting, right? That blew my mind too. Yeah, Charlie's Dragon can definitely explain this more. They've been around way longer. I'm still pretty new to the whole educational stream side of Twitch, so I'm not as well versed. Don't have it memorized. Okay, I don't like that color at all. I mean, I don't know how you're fixing these things. One of these days I'm just gonna like pull you into chat and show you what my chat settings are, because like I can't, it doesn't give me moderation options when I'm streaming. It's so frustrating and strange. One of these days I'm gonna find it. But thank you for helping with that. You draw sometimes? Okay, not a huge drawing fan, but this has just ended up being your username. No way, that is funny. So it's a little bit of a misnomer. Oh, come on, clip. Sigh, you know very well that it's not the same color. You jerk and a half. I have to color this whole thing again. Displeased. I just wanted to change it. Please excuse my harsh language. Okay. Okay, birds are not cold-blooded. Being cold-blooded is not a reptile. Oh, interesting. I thought hold on. Birds are not cold-blooded. Oh, well there you go. See, I didn't even know that. And I know that a lot of times reptiles are though, right? Which is why it's interesting that the sea turtle isn't. Being descended from a reptile. Yeah, exactly. It's not those traits that make you a mammal or a reptile or a bird or whatever. Like if I was suddenly cold-blooded, that wouldn't make me a reptile. It's about your ancestry. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what I was trying to say. But you have definitely explained it way better. And warm and cold-blooded is more of a spectrum. Sloths aren't great at making enough body heat for themselves, but they do make some. Without air, some may shrink. Oh, interesting. I thought the main identifier of reptiles was their gait and walking pattern. I did not know that. Interesting. I think that's probably still, because like snakes are reptiles and they don't have a gait. Although you are talking about the side to side thing, right? Like how fish, it's like the fish go side to side in mammals because of where their hips are, right? So like hips on mammals, we tend to have this kind of motion or they're together if we have like fused legs like whales. And then the lizards kind of like do the slithery walk. That's true. Not true for dinosaurs that walk upright. Oh, interesting, yeah. It's all about ancestry. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, and welcome. Let's see, Cirx. I don't know how to say your name, but thank you for coming. I don't know if you saw the earlier part of the stream, but This is technically supposed to be my warm-up stream. We're doing different themes every day. I don't know how you found this, but if you are an artist and you want to join, or if you just want to watch and hang out, or if you'd like to practice drawing, you are welcome to. We'll be doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every week this week this month in January, and we'll see how it goes. If I like doing it, and if it's not too much work, I might keep doing it again in February. We'll just take it month by month. Quick overview in case you missed it. Here's all of the birds we drew today. The goal is to do a 30-minute sketch session. I went a little over that, and we talked a lot about feathers. Anyway. Yeah, all this stuff's in Discord for sure. First is up and down for this holds true. I'm missing the science chat. Okay, yeah, I think that's what I remember. As in their hips and leg movements, they almost wobble. Yeah, and we glide. Oh, I like that. I don't walk, I glide. Haven't you noticed? No, I don't. I'm like the clumsiest person on the face of the planet. I stumble, mostly. What category are you in if you stumble to move? Trip over things. All that good stuff. I'm not gonna get too into these skills. Cool stuff, thanks. Oh yeah, tried your best in bio class, but trees were your main focus. That's cool. Are you a botanist? Alright, I feel like that's pretty dragony. Unfortunately, I wish I could stay longer, but at this point I'm just procrastinating because I don't want to put all my computer stuff back in my car. I was pretty sure I broke my Cintiq when I moved it over here during the snowstorm. Ugh, so scary. This Cintiq is like cost more than my entire recent build. I was not anxious to replace it anytime soon. So I'm just kind of nervous about moving it back. Like I said, clumsiest person on the face of the planet right here. I'm very scared of breaking things. Right, one more little shadowing. Whoops, wrong layer. Let's do one more little shadow bit, and then I got it properly out. Well, I hope you guys who sketched had fun. I hope if you watched you had fun. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, I'll be doing this again tomorrow. And tomorrow we're actually doing something unique. Every other stream is not going to be like this probably, but since this is the first week I'm doing these, my folks in Discord wanted to do so we did big cats yesterday, birds of prey today, and tomorrow is actually going to be you take what you learned and you design a griffin. So that's what we're doing tomorrow on stream. I'm encouraging everyone to find their own reference pictures to assemble their creature if you have different birds or big cats that you want to draw from. Try to stick to birds of prey just because that's what we're focusing on, but you know, at the end of the day, it's a griffin. Do what you want. If you want to make a griffin penguin, go for it. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing tomorrow, is designing a griffin using reference. That's the key though, we're still using reference. Like, it's going to be quasi-realistic at least. Gotta do some learning, just a little learning. Like sprinkle in the learning, you know. But yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow at 10 AM Mountain Time. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. There's all my socials and stuff. And if anyone wants to go into Discord, if anyone is watching who made sketches that they want to share, you can always join my Discord and share them in the warm-up stream chat that we made for this challenge. So go for it if you want to. But no pressure. You don't have to. Keep them to yourself if you're too shy. It's okay. I understand. I'll be posting mine in there, regardless of how I think they turned out. So, you know, don't be too upset. We're all learning. We're all learning. It's fine. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Oh, a tree enthusiast, an arborist. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Only landscapes. Hey, no worries. We're actually gonna do a landscape one too at some point, because I definitely need to practice my landscapes. So if you have any tips, would love to hear them sometime. But eventually that'll make it on the roster. Right now we're just doing some creatures this month, I think. I could change it up. I don't know, see how I feel next week. Nothing's set in stone, right? But let's see, let's pick a bird to go out on, since this was a bird stream, not a dragon stream. I really like this. I think I just want to go out on this bird. I like him so much. Look how wet he is. Let's see. Can you guys see him? Okay, looks good. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, guys, and hanging out. It was fun. I'll be streaming again tomorrow morning. Like I said, we'll be doing Griffin Design Day tomorrow, so come ready to do that if you want to draw, or just watch. That's always fine too. And then tomorrow afternoon I'll be doing my regular stream. So I stream normally at 4, Mondays and Wednesdays, so I'll still do that. But we'll have some fun in the morning, kind of warm up for the day. So appreciate your company, guys, and have a good rest of your day, whatever you're doing. I'll hopefully catch you some other time. So, oh, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm getting a little closer to my goal. You're awesome. Yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.